Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's sports podcast. It's Thursday evening, and it's the 29th of April. Plenty to get through this week, so we're going to start as we usually do with football. We're going to talk first of all about this week's European action, the Champions League, and a fantastic result for Manchester City last night, defeating PSG away in Paris, 2-1, coming back from 1-0 down at half time. It was a fantastic performance in the second half, and it puts them in a very good position for the second leg of the semi-final, which is next week. Also, well done to Chelsea, good result for them in the first leg away to Real Madrid. A 1-1 draw away at Real Madrid's no mean feat, and again that puts them in a strong position for their second leg as well next week. So it'd be great if we could have an all-English final, despite what people might think about those clubs because of their involvement in the Super League, the European Super League, which has now died for a little while, but it may well rear its ugly head again in the future. But it'd be good to see both English teams in the final. This evening we've got the first legs of the semi-finals in the Europa League as well. We've got Manchester United taking on Roma. We've also got Arsenal taking on Villarreal. So I think both away actually. Both the English teams are away. And again, it'd be fantastic if we get good results tonight to go into the second legs next week in a position where they can seal again an all-English final in the Europa League. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we could get all English finals again, like I think we had before? Was it Liverpool, Tottenham, and Arsenal, Chelsea in the two finals a couple of years ago? So it'd be great if we could repeat that. So it's been a good week on the European football front for English teams. Moving on from the European football, looking forward to this weekend's Premier League fixtures. And this week's Premier League fixtures, the highlight's probably going to be the Sunday tea time match between, I think it's 4 o'clock kickoff between Man United and Liverpool at Old Trafford. Still plenty to play for there, plenty at stake. Man United are probably firmly settled now in second place. In fact, Manchester City can move closer to the title if they can win Saturday lunchtime at Crystal Palace. So Man United probably are going to have to settle for second, but they're going to want to beat Liverpool, the fiercest rivals. And Liverpool still need the points to try and qualify for the Champions League for next season. They're on the edge of the battle for fourth place now. I think third might have gone. Leicester may well have sealed that. They're not quite there, but not far off now. So, and Leicester are away, I believe, at Southampton tomorrow evening. Southampton will be hoping not to lose 9-0 at home this time, although they have beaten them since then anyway at Leicester. So it might not be too much of a fear for them. Might not hold too many fears for them because of that result. But they're the main games from this weekend, and there's still plenty to play for in terms of those teams strapping for the final European place, both the Champions League and the Europa League places, really. So we'll see how it goes. At the bottom, it's looking a bit more clear cut now. I think the three teams, well, Sheffield United have obviously been relegated already. And you've got to say that West Brom are on the edge. They're playing on Monday night. I think they're playing Wolves. That's a big game for them. Wolves have gone off a little bit, in fact more than a little bit. So West Brom will probably fancy their chances of keeping their hopes alive for a little bit longer. Fulham looked like they were going to escape at one point, but they seem to have fallen backwards with the results in the last 2 or 3 weeks, combined with good results recently for Burnley and for Newcastle as well. Brighton are probably the team that are under some threat now, and they've got a tough game actually this weekend at home to Leeds on Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. So I think you can watch that one at Amazon Prime. The Man United game against Liverpool's on Sky, I think 4 o'clock kick-off on Sunday. And the game between Crystal Palace and Manchester City is 12:30 on Saturday at lunchtime. Also another game of interest will be Everton against Aston Villa, which I think is a 7:30 kick-off or somewhere around there. Also on BT Sport, and that's on Saturday evening as well. So I think that rounds up all the European and the Premier League games. Also a big game on Saturday afternoon for the Shaman, Halifax Town. They're at home to Stockport. Town are currently in fifth place in the Conference National. Stockport, I think, are fourth. But they're on a really good run of form at the moment. It's very tight at the top now between those 4 teams. Sutton, Torquay I think are top actually now. Sutton, Hartlepool and Stockport are closing a bit there in fourth, and Town are in fifth, a little bit behind, but wanting to seal a place in the playoffs. So it'd be good if we could get some kind of result against Stockport, having battled their way through to a 1-0 win on Tuesday night against Woking in some pretty terrible conditions, to be honest with you. The rain was very heavy all the way through the game, and it was obviously down to the hard work of the ground staff making sure it stayed in reasonable condition till the end of the game. The ball wasn't rolling fully at some points near the end, but thankfully we got through it, and a 1-0 result, really having to work hard with a winning goal from Jake Hyde, sees Halifax still in a really good position to get into those playoffs. So fingers crossed we can do it. It'd be really good if we can make the playoffs like we did last season. I think we may have a little bit better chance this time. But the competition might be a little bit fiercer than it was last time as well. So yeah, still plenty to play for there. So that's all I want to say about football for this week, really. I'm going to move on now, and I'm going to talk about cricket, and we're going to talk about Bradshaw, and another great result for Bradshaw in the second league game of the season this past weekend. A victory over Thornton. And at the heart of that victory over Thornton was a fantastic innings of 155 by my friend Chris Shannon, fellow town supporter. 155 runs he scored. I was hoping to do an interview with Chris, so I haven't had a chance to do it this week, but maybe if he can score another century, we can do it next week. So there's a challenge to you, Shan. Another century, and we'll do an interview. That was... Your innings was described as probably one of the best knocks he's ever seen by Simon Collins when he sent me a report through this week on Bradshaw. So that's that's fair praise indeed. Is that Simon's been playing a long time, and Chris, that's certainly a high honour from coming from Simon. Also, Simon mentioned a very good performance by Josh Hutchinson playing for the other team for Thornton. I think he's got 140, and that's his second century in a row. I think he's got 164 the week before. So that's two fantastic performances by him. But he came up on the short end this time as Bradshaw won by 114 runs. And it was Piers Fisher who took the vital wicket of Hutchinson to sort of like cement the fact that Bradshaw were going to win that match. So a good start for Bradshaw. Tough match they've got against Triangle this weekend. So again, they need to be on the mettle to try and get a good result against those guys. In the other results from the weekend just gone, we had Booth who beat Worley by 7 wickets. We had Copley who dismantled Shelf North Fareham Hedgetop, really, won by 10 wickets. They were all out for 45, yeah, that's right, for Shelf North Fareham. Illingworth St Mary's beat Blackley by 78 runs, and the SBCI beat Myvenroy by 10 runs. So we had a couple of pretty close games there. Yeah, so that's a good result for SBCI there. Good to hear doing well. Now, obviously, in the next 7 days, we've got matches coming up between. We've already mentioned Triangle at home to Bradshaw, Blackley are at home to Copley, Boover at home to SBCI, Shelf North Fareham Hedgetop are at home to Myvenroyd, Thornton are at home to Illingworth St Mary's, and Worley are at home to Sorbybridge Cricket Club. So we'll have an update on those results in next week's podcast and see who'll come out with a good performance this next week. But good luck to all the lads at Bradshaw. Let's see some more good performances. I'd like to see if we can, third consecutive victory and put them clear at the top of the league with a bit of luck. So yeah, fingers crossed for those guys. Moving on now to another issue. I just thought to bring this up because it's not really first team cricket as such, Sunday League, but I'd like to say congratulations to Finlay Townsend, who took 5 wickets in 5 balls on his debut as 16-year-old. His debut for Outlane on Sunday, so congratulations to him. I'd like to claim that he's related to me being called Townsend, but I can assure you he's not. So he's probably glad about that. But good luck to Finlay in the future. Let's hope he's got a bright future ahead of him. Moving away from the local league cricket now and onto the national game, or should I say the county game. Yorkshire, after I said last week they're probably going to lose the match against Sussex, they turned it around and actually won the game, so that's a brilliant result. And they're second in Group 3 of the county championship now, but just behind Lancashire. They've started the 4th match of the season today away at Kent. Today's been a bit of a mixed bag of a day. They were all out with Yorkshire for 206. Not of the best of scores. Parnell performing really well for Kent, taking 5 wickets for 64. He's a quality bowler, and obviously Yorkshire struggled a bit today. They didn't manage to get a full day's playing. I don't know if they've actually finished yet because they were still playing when I saw that score. So, but we're near the end of the play now. It may well be that Kent have started batting. I can probably check that while I'm talking to you all now, to be honest with you. Sorry, not Kent. Northampton. I'm saying the wrong team there. Saying Northants, not Kent. So Northants are 12 for naught in the fourth of 11 overs left to be bowled tonight, and it's saying that Thompson and Willie are sharing a new ball. So let's see how we get on there. It might be a tough day tomorrow, but we don't know what the weather's going to be like. It's the forecast here is for cooler weather and maybe a little bit of rain, so we could see some destruction over the weekend to this match. So keep your eyes on that. Um, okay, so now we're going to talk about snooker, and we're on to the semi-finals, the World Championship snooker now. The first one started this afternoon. Mark Selby and Stuart Bingham were drawn at four. We're tying at 4-4 when I looked earlier. So, and the second semi-final starts this evening. That's Kyron Wilson against Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy having dispatched favourite Judd Trump yesterday, and Kyron Wilson having dispatched Neil Robertson. They were probably the two favourites going into the last 8, but they're both out now. Mark Selby had a very convincing victory in his quarter-final, beating Mark Williams, a 3-time former champion, by 13 frames to 3 even. Nothing for free. And in the other quarter-final, Stuart Bingham, I think, dispatched Anthony McGill, the guy who eliminated Roddy O'Sullivan. So it's going to be interesting to see who actually comes out as champion this time. The money seems to be going significantly with Mark Selby. He's obviously a previous champion. He's got the experience of being a victor at the Crucible. So I believe it concludes on a Monday. I believe the final Sunday and Monday. So Bank Holiday Monday traditionally is the day when the Snooker World Final finishes. So you'll find out then who is going to be a new Snooker World Champion. Moving on from snooker, we'll talk about darts next. And the Darts Premier League recommences next Wednesday. We've got the first 2 players eliminated already. Glenn Durrant and Rob Cross have departed. The league's bunched up quite nicely between the rest of the players. Aspinall and Vandenberg have started very well. Michael van Gerwen's always on the tail, and he's always going to be with a shout in the big tournaments. I think all the players realistically have got some kind of chance of winning it. So again, they start on Wednesday, and just keep your eye on what happens there. Another event this weekend I wanted to mention before the darts is the Formula One Motor Racing Grand Prix. It's the Portuguese Grand Prix this weekend. Lewis Hamilton will be looking to try and increase his lead from 1 point over Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. They're both in very good form at the moment. The young English lad George Russell will be hoping to try and avoid any more conflict with any of the drivers, especially Valtteri Bottas. They are sort of teammates anyway. There are links between the two teams. So I saw an interview with him earlier saying, it's into conflict and crashing's no good. It makes it exciting for the fans, but it's not very much excitement for the drivers. It's quite scary, I would have thought, going at those speeds. So let's avoid those crashes, can we, boys? Okay. And just sort of in a link there still to motorsport, the Brisker Formula 1 Stock Car World Final has been confirmed as being held at Odsal. The weekend is this Friday the 10th and Saturday 11th of September. The final is on the Saturday 11th, and tickets are now on sale. Tickets for the Friday night meeting are £22 for standard entry for adults, and the standard entry for the World Final meeting itself on Saturday are £39. They're on sale now, and you can get your tickets and information about them from www.startracks.info. So that's where you look for those if you're interested in attending the Stock Car World Final. We're edging ever closer to the start of the Speedway season. We're still waiting for updates on the confirmed rounds of this year's Speedway Grand Prix. As it stands at the moment, the first round I believe is still going to be held in Prague on the 5th of June. The organisers are still hoping to hold 11 rounds over the full season. It may well be because of the delayed start that we see some double weekends like we saw in 2020. We saw double rounds, 3 of them in Poland and 1 in the Czech Republic. So they're still not being confirmed, but they're hopeful of getting 11 rounds in. The Polish season is already underway. The Polish Speedway have announced this week that they're hoping that 25% of fans will be allowed back into stadiums as of the 15th of May. They'll have ridden probably 6 or 7 rounds of the weekly fixtures by then, and you should better see a pattern emerging as to which teams are at the top. Gorzhov have made a good start to the season. Lezhno are still up there. They've not got quite as strong a team as they had last season, but they've still got a pretty strong team. So they're the teams to watch out for, I think. So I haven't actually seen any action so far. I'm hoping to catch some of it this weekend if I get time. So that's the latest in the world of Polish Speedway and Speedway generally. I think that's probably just about all the main things I want to mention this week. And the reason why I've done this podcast this evening is because of the planned social media blackout being um, followed by a lot of the large media sporting outlets this weekend. So I thought if I did it tonight, it gives people the chance to watch this, and if they want to support that media boycott over the weekend, which it starts actually at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, a social media blackout from lots of these sporting outlets such as Sky Sports and the Premier League and the Rugby League and the cricket, ECB, all people like that are all sponsoring. I think UEFA have actually said they'll back it, and the Scottish Premier Football League as well. They're all backing this campaign to try and make the social media companies respect people and to try and reduce the amount of online abuse and bullying that's going on. It's obviously an important thing that we all need to consider. So you may well be yourself considering boycotting social media over that period. So you need to obviously find other ways of getting the information that you need, or following on live TV perhaps. But it's obviously a point they want to make. It'll be interesting to see if it has any impact. If anybody's got any thoughts on the rights and wrongs of doing something like this, or what they think they'd like to see done next to try and tackle online bullying, well, please leave a comment below this video. So like I say, I think that's all for now, and I hope to be back again next weekend, or maybe before next weekend, with an update on what's happening and what's happened or what does happen in this weekend's sport. I hope you enjoy all the action that happens this weekend. The forecast doesn't look so great, so hopefully it won't impact the cricket too much. Fingers crossed. And like I say, see you all next time. And take care till then.